Hello everyone, my name is Rob. I'm here with my good friends
Ben
and
Jamie.
I'm going to talk about new releases for the week in VR and the indie world. As you can see, we have a slightly different setup. We have a table, we have a microphone and a laptop, and we're going to be doing sort of more informal chat about some of the games. I'm actually going to have played them, haven't we, Jamie?
Yes,
played the games.
we've actually played some video games and we can talk about them with,
some authority.
some authority.
We've
some
had
knowledge and
a little bit
experience.
of knowledge and experience. We've had 60 minutes in each of the games we've picked. We've picked them at random on our own choice. So we'll go through, we've picked two each, and I will talk to Jamie and Ben and see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think we should talk first about a little character called...
Crazy character.
A little crazy character called Yarny.
Yarny, it's everyone's favourite cute mascot.
Yarn-based platforming mascot. Well,
Yeah.
there's Sackboy.
To be fair, Yarny's probably second in Sackboy. Anyway, Yarny's pretty cute and he's gone and got himself a mate in Yarny 2, which was recently announced.
Not Yarny 2, is it? You keep saying Yarny 2.
It is Yarny
No, it's Unravel.
Unravel 2.
There we go,
Jamie.
there we go.
I just love Yarny so much. So this game was announced at E3 on the EA developer stage thing, and this adds co-op to the game, which it didn't have before.
No.
And so it is still a 2D platformer, but you're going to be connected via string.
So before you were connected to like
Just
the
stuff.
ball of yarn in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
distance.
Which wasn't a very cooperative
No,
person, or
it's just a ball, Jamie.
ball,
There's
yes.
no cooperation there.
no, but they've made it cooperative, and you're going to be doing a lot more sort of interesting puzzles where one person has to hold something, other people climb up on it.
Right.
Me and Ben, we gave it a go, didn't we? Earlier?
Yeah, we gave it a go together. We did lots of swinging about.
You're quite cooperative.
Yeah.
You two.
I like to think so.
I like
yeah.
to think so.
We work together.
You're both equally bad at things, which means that when you do it together, you're on the same level with each other. Did you have fun?
I don't know if I agree with that. But that's
It's just a slow burn, right? We're talking about puzzle game here. You played it for an hour.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have been anything that taxed you.
This one seemed a lot more like...
And yet you laugh.
We did have to use the hint system on one or two
Wow.
puzzles.
Well,
but
it does force you to use the hint system.
Does it force you, Ben?
There was one hint that was press the hint button to proceed.
Okay, that's fair.
and it was like, well done.
Can you give me an example of one of the puzzles?
I could be standing on top of a floating thing. Ben will swing underneath it and jump up, and I'll
On
be
the bit of
rooted
yarn
to it.
that connects us.
Right.
And then he will stay on the next one, I'll swim across.
Okay.
So it's a bit like, did you ever play Chariot, which was an indie game?
I did. I also played Mickey Mouse's Castle of Illusion on the Mega Drive because I'm 33.
Okay.
Which is a very similar thing. Like you had like a seesaw and one of the duck man. Who's the duck man? The duck man from the Disney?
Donald the Duck Man.
Donald the Duck
Donald the Duck Man.
He would jump on a leaf and then that would like seesaw Mickey up into another bit. So
Yeah.
it's some standard
Similar to that.
stuff. Do you,
Another reference for it is the Dead or Alive movie. When they
you're always bringing it back to the Dead or Alive movie, Ben.
nothing is one thing, everything is itself, and the Dead or Alive movie. But there's a scene where they're climbing up a mountain, they're climbing too slow, they decide it would definitely be better if they work together and throw each other up the
Right.
mountain. They would have
Right.
broken.
That doesn't sound very efficient.
No, they were going slower than they were. And
Can you find the footage and put this over this? Because I'm
I'll find
very
it, I'll find
intrigued about
So
how this might work.
The game is local co-op only, which
Yep.
we found out at the last minute. We're about to buy 2 Steam copies.
Yes.
It's fine.
Wouldn't have
Don't
worked.
do that. We played it on PlayStation 4.
Yes, we did. But it's worth saying, if you don't fancy co-op or you got no mates, there is a single-player mode.
Do you think it'd be any good?
I tried the single-player mode and I have my doubts about it.
Yeah, why?
Because it's literally a case of you're going to be controlling both of them, but you take it in turns.
like brothers?
Like
But not
brothers.
as good.
But you
your
can't do
control
them both at the
switches
same time.
between
Okay,
the two.
okay.
It's not.
Not-
it's
it's-
artificial single player.
It's the equivalent of having 2 controllers in front of you, you being sat on your own, be like, I want to do this one, put that down, next one. It doesn't work. And for the more intense bits, you can actually combine the 2 Yarnies into one,
Right.
so that they can run and escape various.
It feels a
set
bit like you
pieces.
just a constant reminder that you didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
which
what it
I don't
seemed like.
need.
No, you don't need another one, do you,
I
Jamie?
don't need that when I'm playing video games.
Okay, that's cool.
There's a few more features. There's some character customization, which
It's
felt weird.
pretty
weird
limited.
weird on Yarny. It's made of yarn.
You
Yeah.
can choose colour, can't you, Ben? You can...
Well, is he the same Yarny though? Because the first game.
Don't spoil it, Ben. I feel like I hear spoilers coming up.
No, the first game ended differently to how this one begins.
this
Right.
one starts very dramatically. Have you played Uncharted 4?
Yes, I have.
Do you know?
This is a big dramatic scene here.
Do you know the opening? You might not remember it, but like he's on a boat and it's like
Yes, he
it's
is.
all big
yeah,
waves
like you're
and stuff.
splashing down to the water. Yeah.
That's the opening of
That's the
Unravel
exact
2.
same meaning of Unravel 2. They borrowed it from Santa Monica Studios.
Yeah, no, you're on a boat. It's really like you're about to drown.
very
Yanni gets
dramatic.
knocked about a lot in the game.
He actually does.
He's-
And it's made of
smashes into-
yarn, man, so it's alright. And Nathan Drake's made of bones. It's much worse.
Jamie, how does he climb?
The climbing is ridiculous, Rob.
You guys both seem to
So-
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great.
The game generally is like really visually impressive. It's 60 FPS. It looks amazing.
Yeah, the first Unravel was like not photorealistic, but certainly for a puzzle platformer, you could tell it had the money of Electronic Arts.
Very
Yeah, for
visually
sure.
impressive.
This one, exactly the same, looks amazing. But they've added a new climbing thing.
Right.
And do you know in like the Muppets, whenever they like show Kermit, well, obviously because usually
The
he's
bottom
got
half of it.
the bottom
Whenever
half,
it's a
and he's
full
kind of
body
like,
shot of Kermit.
you know.
How is he's like that?
Yeah.
So he's sort of like surfing.
I might demonstrate on this wall how
Okay.
Yanni climbs. I don't know if I'm still in focus, but it's like.
No,
just
you're
all
bending
legs.
too realistically. His
Am
body
I?
stays straight,
Like-
and it's lots of.
This is so weird.
Yeah,
This is unnecessary.
that's what it's like, and it's just a little bit.
I like how
jarring.
we could have just shown people the picture of Yanni.
We probably have shown them the
Video game,
gameplay,
yeah.
but
Well,
I won't.
No,
demonstrate.
both.
We can always put a side by side of you doing your climbing and Yanni doing his climbing.
All right, no more Yanni. Yanni's banned forever. You guys have both played one extra game each.
Yes.
Yes.
But first, I want to talk about one of my games.
What's your
Fair.
game?
I played 2 games. One of them was Bus Simulator.
Exciting.
What would you guys? Word association time, right? If I said Bus Simulator to you, what would you say?
Buses.
Well, yes. If I said buses, what would you say?
Bus drivers.
Oh my god, Jamie, what would you say?
I'm thinking like the train simulator equivalent of like, you know, just sort of real life things
Real life things.
that you can do digitally for
You
some
can do
reason.
digitally. Train Simulator is a very popular one. There's also much worse ones like Woodcutter Simulator, and very popular ones like. Can you name one, Ben? Name a simulator game for
Farming
me.
simulator.
No, Simulator
Farming
comes
Simulator.
second word. Good, that was the one I was thinking of.
Simulator.
What did he say? Did he
Goat
say
Simulator.
Goat Simulator. Not a very
That's
good example.
really a kind of a
It's not
different.
really a simulator.
It's a different kind
It's
of
much
thing.
much more serious than Goat Simulator. Here's the thing, right? Euro Truck Sim is actually, no jokes, quite a good game. And Euro Truck Sim is about simulating trucking. But the notion of trucking, I think, is a bit romantic, right? You agree with that? Like, you're on long
Yeah, no,
hauls
that's fair.
through America. You're all alone. Maybe you're like a lonely wolf man.
It always reminds me.
You have to
of
be a
the-
wolf man,
I
but
don't know why he'd be a wolf man. But concept always reminds me of the Christmas song of Driving Home for Christmas.
there you
He's
go.
having a drive
there you
home.
go, and that's a
having a
romantic
sing
thing.
song.
But if I think of buses, I don't have that.
Don't
romantic
really
side.
get that.
I'm
no.
more afraid of being mugged when I'm on a bus.
Maybe you're going to get mugged, especially if you're on an American bus, I think, because it's just the nature of a lot of cars means that the buses are a bit weirder. In England, the buses are okay, but I haven't got on a bus for a while. I drive a car. And so, yeah, it loses that romantic thing, and obviously it's in a small town, so there's no real travel element of it. And I feel like that is potentially the reason why I don't think it would catch on quite as much as ETS, as Euro Truck Simulator did, or American Truck Simulator, but it's a very good simulator of driving a bus.
I mean, I would question why they put Bus Simulator in a small town.
Well,
With
it's-
not many, passengers.
It's not the biggest town, I guess. It's a budget thing. There's enough passengers. They do some strange things. So there's like random events that can happen as you drive your bus. And obviously you have like indicators and ignition, and you have to stop at the bus stop. All your normal bus things that you want to do when you're on the bus. But then one of the random events, which happens every 2 minutes, is a guy will come on the back of the bus. So it's like a rear door bus, and he will just stop in the middle of the 2 doors, and you have to get out of your bus chair and go round to the back of the bus and tell him off. And then he's like, oh, sorry, I'm standing in the doorway.
So you can
And then he
actually
goes in.
control a person who.
Yeah,
walks
you
around
are a
as well.
real person
Right.
that can get off the bus and get on the bus and walk around. It's like GTA. It's not.
Do you
It's a
have
bit
to,
like
like-
GTA.
It's Bus
Do you get like
Driver
angry when you
Simulator.
have to give people change?
I don't know how angry I was, Jamie.
No.
I mean, does my character get angry? Maybe I don't know what his MO is. He's a bus driver.
But I'm imagining it almost like you said. There's these scenarios that happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining it like Papers, Please. So like
I mean,
get
you
their
could
ticket.
role play it, Jamie. Because you have to give people tickets. You don't have to ask for ID, but you can ask for ID verbally while you play by yourself.
Sometimes when like a bus person takes the ticket,
He does if he's checking that. Yeah. I think it assumes that everyone has a season pass, and you give people change. And I know this sounds really dull.
it does.
And I think if you are into that sort of game, you're probably going to play ETS. I get that. But I think it could get good. It's going to rely on mods. I think it's one of those games where like they're going to make mods of different buses, perhaps from your hometown, Arriva, for us. Woo!
Shout out to Arima.
Shout out to Arima. I don't know why I was shouting out anything to Arima.
I think people who like the type of game that like bus
will
simulator
like to model their own buses, and maybe
they'll
their
be
own
excited
towns and
about
their own
fresh
bus engine noises. Like the game really infuses to you. Like there's this whole tutorial section where this woman who's like the head of buses. There's only one bus in this town, by the way. At the start, they're like,
a lot of pressure.
the town has buses again now, and she's like, oh, listen to that engine. And you're like, it's all right, it's good. It's janky as all hell.
Okay.
It's that sort of game. I think you just expect some jank. It's a little bit of harmless jank. It wasn't like breaking. The frame rate was awful, but then I turned VSync on and it was okay. But it was genuinely fun when it got going, when the controls were all sorted out. It had mapped one of the buttons by default to my Logitech foot pedals, which is impressive, as I don't and have never owned a Logitech foot pedal. But I sorted that stuff out. It was fine. It was good.
Oh my God.
I think it will get good. I don't know even if you're into buses that you should buy it right now. It's certainly very visually nice. It's Unreal Engine.
You say it'll get good. Is this an early access?
No, it's not an early access game, but it does feel a little bit like one.
Okay.
And that's what I mean by the jank.
I don't really know simulator games, so they tend to get lots of patches.
They tend to, well, especially ones with that modding support in there by default, tend to rely on the community a bit. Is that fair? I don't know. But if it makes a good game, I don't really mind. I'm going to stop talking about buses now.
That's cool.
You know what's more exciting than buses?
Is it dancing?
Dancing.
Ben?
How was dancing then?
I played a game. I played Club Party. It's got a long name and lots of words.
I love how you have to get the notepad out. to
notepad
remember
out to
the
get the
game.
correct,
I mean, you did call Unravel Yarny too.
Yarny
so-
too.
Club Dance Party VR.
Right.
It's got a lot of words that don't necessarily need to go together.
What's your experience in real life with club, dance, partying, Ben?
In real life, absolutely zero.
You've been to a club with me. He's lying. You've been to Manor, the
I've been
heavy
near.
metal club.
Okay, so I suppose it's not zero. I've been near other people while they danced in a club.
Okay.
Okay.
You've never danced though, have you?
No.
You normally stood on the back wall, looking
gonna
kind
say-
of sulky, and then kissing like someone normally, weren't you? So you didn't even need to dance to kiss them.
I mean, it tends to be the same person these
The
days.
thing I
really.
find
Yeah, well nowadays, yeah, it's always
the
your
thing I
wife.
find about dancing is I can personally often feel a bit self-conscious when I'm dancing. So
Which is
being
strange because you're such a good dancer, JB.
Thank
I
you.
saw you just then
Very kind.
dancing
Yeah.
on video.
that was actually climbing from the Unravel 2. But I'm thinking maybe if I was in virtual reality and there was no one
You
actually
lose
around.
like Beat
I might-
Saber, like how you become,
Exactly.
you become
I might
cool.
feel amazing.
You become the Beat Saberer.
Did you feel amazing when you were playing this game?
No, I did not.
What is the game?
The game thinks that it is like Just Dance, but VR. But the problem with that is Just Dance actually uses things like Connect and motion tracking for
Yes.
more than just your hands.
Yes.
This one does not. It just uses your hands. It doesn't care about where your head's going at all. So
It doesn't know where your head's going, but it does know where your head's going.
it roughly, sort of.
Yeah, you should
You're
know
not
where you are.
actually
Nice where you
in. If you look to the sides while you're in the game, you don't see more club. You just see black.
Oh,
Off to your side,
Okay.
it's just completely black. If you turn your head, it jutters and becomes club.
this is an early access title, we should say, isn't it? It's not new. It's not
It is,
released.
yes. The studio is they haven't made anything else.
No.
To be fair, it's their first go. Of
I
it.
feel like the concept could be good, but I don't think it's anywhere near there
No.
yet. Right?
Do
The
you get, like-
performance?
Do you get a dance partner?
You get a woman opposite you who is dancing.
Oh, that's my experience of dance partners.
Do you
She's
earn
there.
like points while you're playing?
Not as far as I
there's
can
not
tell.
like there's no score or competition or leader.
It doesn't come
No,
up
there
being, like,
is
great
there-
moves.
You get. Yeah, it's a bit like DDR in that if you match it perfectly, you get a perfect. Hooray.
Right.
And there are
what are the
points-
moves? There's arm based, so it's like Samba de Amigo. You know Samba de Amigo on the Dreamcast?
You say arm, it's entirely hand based.
Did you find that you just weren't moving your legs at all?
No, there's no need for
you could
moving
roll- so
it's
legs
just really awkward
like
on
you
the
would
top.
play. There's no even they put a woman in front of you who's dancing, but you don't interact with her at all.
No.
It's probably for the best.
Also,
Is she
you
moving
don't-
her legs?
She's moving.
That's cheating.
You don't get an option of a man opposite
Right.
you.
I'm not very familiar with dancing, but I think that most of the time, with some exceptions, it involves all four limbs.
All four limbs.
Unless you're doing like river dance, then you don't need the arms.
I suppose.
Any other examples?
But this only tracks arms.
The only tracks is like
Only
the
tracks-
opposite river dance.
Only tracks hands. It just
which
gives
is
you,
very popular in the clubs right now. I think.
Put that on the
It just
poster.
gives you a spot in front of you that you need to put your hand and pull the trigger, and that's the dance. So it's more like aiming than dancing.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not even like gesture based. It's literally like get in position.
This
do
is
it,
very.
get in position.
Yeah.
It sounds very similar one person watching this will know what I mean when I say Samba de Amigo. You had 3 circles, up, middle, and bottom, and you had on the left or right of the screen, and you had these maraca toys. It was like before Guitar Hero, but the plastic toys, and the circles would flash, and then you'd shake the maracas in those circles, which was fun because you were a maraca man, not a dancer.
Yeah, no. And the performance of the game is terrible.
Yeah.
The frame rate
On
that
your
I'm
good
sure,
computer?
on my good computer, and the frame rate that I'm sure will be next to me around somewhere is
Making you throw up right now as you watch this footage.
yeah, it's atrocious.
That's not great.
Yeah, I gave it another chance. I came out of it. I turned off all of my stuff. I closed everything just to make sure I wasn't using hellish amounts of RAM somewhere. Gave it another go. Exactly the same.
So you would not, in its current early access state, recommend?
No.
Not even to, say, people that like Just Dance or those
I don't
sorts of
think I
games?
could. I checked.
What's the music like?
The music is not the things
Generic
I have
clubby
heard
music?
of.
But not obviously licensed music.
Not of this country.
Can you import your own music?
Not that I saw.
that's
I
agreed.
tried to find video options to turn it down. Maybe
Right.
it was optimized too high. There are none.
Right.
You don't get options for audio, which is weird in a club.
What's your favourite club song, Ben?
My favourite club song?
Yeah.
Gangnam Style, definitely.
All right, cool. Mine is Sandstorm by Darude.
References.
I don't think I have one.
Do you even know any electronic music?
No.
Jamie entirely listens to film soundtracks.
We'll go with let's go with a Beat Saber song.
go.
$100.
$100
Bills?
Is it just
I was
$100
expecting the
bills?
Proclaimers just
I think it's $100
Didn't even get it
bills.
right.
Probably dollar with an A rather than an E and an R.
Yeah.
Or an A and an R.
That's where I went wrong.
That's fine. That's fine. From dancing to walking.
So walking or floating or whatever you're doing, it's a bit of a trippy game. I'm not sure what was going on.
What's it called, Jamie?
It's called Shape of the World.
Okay.
So this is a sort of Proteus, Abzu, Journey, Flower kind of game.
So for those people that don't have a frame of reference for that, we're talking like quite abstract.
Abstract, you don't really know what's going on, but you're kind of moving through an environment and the world reacts to you.
Exploration focus.
Exactly. So quite a relaxing, calming sort of experience.
So more environmental than narrative.
Yeah, there's no narrative
Okay,
going on.
okay.
So what you're doing is the game starts off and it's like a blank canvas. And as you move forward, plants and trees start appearing in front of you, which
Okay.
is quite cool. And then the music starts kicking in and the sound effects, and it's all happening in time with what you're doing.
Right.
So if I choose to go to the left, plants will pop up
So
here.
very similar to Proteus, then,
Yeah.
which uses. I worked on Proteus a long time ago for the consoles, the old computer consoles, and we were you move forward in Proteus in the islands, and the soundscape is generated based on the flowers and the trees that you see, and the sound is a major part of it because the visuals
Yeah.
are very low key. The sound is very low key as well, but together they create sort of nearly a museum installation piece.
Yeah, no, that's a really good description of it, actually. But what I would say is, compared to Proteus, the visuals here are amazing. They look really,
Right.
really nice, really colourful and diverse.
Are
as
they
well.
towards? I mean, people are going to see this, but just for my benefit, are they towards the photorealism or towards the abstract?
It's more towards like abstract cell shaded,
Okay.
is what I'd say. And what you're going to be doing is, there's no real goal, but there is the occasional sort of signposting of where you should go.
Right.
And it's this triangle logo. And when you go towards that and you hit that point, the whole world completely transforms. It could suddenly become daytime, it could become nighttime,
Okay.
you could be suddenly underwater. And it's just a really cool experience. And what you said with a museum art installation is spot on for what I think it is.
Excellent, very good.
It was good, yeah.
Why are you there? You say there's no narrative.
What's
Like,
what's
what are
your
you-
MO?
What's your purpose? in life?
what you
How
doing?
do you get achievements?
There are achievements. I actually saw there's some for speed running it.
Oh.
Because there's some sort of gameplay
Made me look
elements.
foolish.
What you can do is if you click on trees in front of you, the trees go back into the ground
Right.
and then you speed up.
Right.
So if you want to, you can gain quite a bit of momentum, and it's really satisfying to just charge
But you
forward.
don't need to.
You don't need to. You can
don't
take
need
it at your own pace. You can even spend time just building the world around you. I was more focused on trying to get to that end goal.
to. Yeah, I figured it was narrative just because you picked it and you like narrative games.
yeah.
But how much is it? Like, what sort of scale of an experience is it?
So it is £10 on Steam.
Right.
Which I think is a nice sort of sweet spot where, like, if it lasts 2 hours or so,
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel
Yeah.
shortchanged.
Okay.
Especially for something that it's an experience more than anything. But I really enjoyed it. I found it very relaxing. Like
It sounded like you had a better time than Ben trying to dance.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
It would be hard not to.
I was going to say, I don't think many people could. I was having a bad time Bus Simulator.
Yeah.
You probably should have swapped.
I would have had a better time.
Yeah.
But it's nice. You can get into quite a flow. If you've played Flower, you know how you kind of speed
have
up
played
as you
Flower,
get the
yeah,
flowers
yeah,
and you
yeah.
move faster. It's a bit like that.
Cool.
And what I thought was quite cool is it's on a lot of platforms. It's on Switch, PS4, Xbox, PC.
I wonder how well those sort of encompassing audiovisual experiences work on a portable platform.
Yeah, it's stuff. I'd recommend you have to play this with headphones for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I have one more game
One more game.
What is your one more game?
called Stoneshard.
That's a
Stoneshard.
much shorter name.
I'll talk about this for one main reason I want to talk about this, which isn't exactly the game itself. So what Stoneshard is, it's a roguelike. It's turn-based, technically. You move around, enemies move one step, you move one step, etc. You can picture this already. Frame of reference, Dungeons of Dreadmore, ADOM, NetHack, but with nice pixel graphics. Okay. Kind of like reminded me the graphics of, like, I don't know if you've seen Dead Cells, an early access game. Sort of chunky, just, you want to eat them, you want to eat the pixels. And I feel like if you did, it would be a satisfying meal. Okay. Really nice. I mean, you're looking at them now, but like it just looks good. And the lighting is nice. And I think it really fits into this nice little world. Kind of a generic world, swords and shields, and you're in a dungeon, and the dungeon isn't super exciting, a starting dungeon. The game works really well for what it is, and I don't want to talk too much about it because if I say Diablo, if I say ADOM, if you're into roguelikes, you sort of know where it's trying to go with things. What I found interesting about this is that it's actually sort of it's a Kickstarter marketing tool, this game. So it's not an early access game. It's a prologue, free, it's free obviously, a free prologue of a game that is right now on Kickstarter trying to get money. So it's sort of like releasing your Kickstarter demo directly onto the Steam store.
That's actually quite a good
which
idea.
I haven't seen many people doing.
No, now that you say it, it sounds like such an obvious thing to do.
Yeah, and yet I think so many Kickstarters don't have a demo this complete. And this is, although it's bare bones and there isn't too much in it content-wise, the fundamental core mechanics are already really good. So you have a lot of faith in that product. And normally you have that, but you have that, or if you do have it, you have it on the Kickstarter page, you have to download it, it's an EXE, Chrome starts moaning at you thinking it's a virus because it's an EXE on your own server. Having it on Steam is really cool. The only problem is that, like, I thought, because it's so unusual, I was like, oh, it was Kickstarted. So this is the alpha or the beta of the Kickstarter. So no, it's not. It's just, please give us money now. And I think they've reached their goal. They haven't asked for a huge amount of money. I just thought that was a really cool way of
Do you
of doing
feel
things.
like, having played the prologue, you want to see more of the full
I
game?
feel like its only problem is that there are lots of games like it. A lot of games
That's
like it. The prologue was very tight, very well presented. I had a few UI issues. Watching me play it is probably quite painful because just this thing where you left click to move and you right click to pick up. And I think I just think it's because I'm playing a game where you left click to pick up right now that makes it weird in my head. So I'm trying to pick up this gold and I just walk into it instead and I walk back and try to pick up again. That's slightly annoying. Would I kickstart it personally in its current form? No, but only because there are just so many games that are so similar that have the content already out there that I haven't personally played. Yeah. I think if you're hungry for these types of games and you play them all the time and you've gone all the way through games like Risk of Rain, Rogue Legacy, closer things like, as I was saying, NetHack, but with nice graphics, Tales of Mahail, another kind of similarly graphic-y, tile-y stuff. All very similar. Even stuff like XCOM, all very similar in terms of gameplay, that I'd want something to be really blow me away with story for that to work. And there are some cool mechanics here. For example, you can you get traits as you go through the dungeon. I'm going to keep referencing other games, even though I sort of attacked you for that subtly and passive aggressive.
It's okay.
Darkest Dungeon, where you get depression or you get alcoholism. I'm not sure they're that hardcore. It's a little bit less dark, which is not hard to be Death Star and Darkest Dungeon. But you have these little things that you can get, and you can then, as you go through, your character develops these traits that will affect stuff. That's cool. There are some story branching event quests. There's an overworld map that's going to be in it. Not much of that is in this prologue. It is worth checking out, and it's free, so you should definitely 100% check it out. I would check it out over Dance Mania VR
no, don't do that.
Party. No, check that out instead of Dance Mania.
Yeah, no, play Dance Party.
Why? Why do you want people to play Dance
Well,
Party?
you need to experience bad things to enjoy good things.
But you have to pay £10 to experience Dance Party.
You can't get a refund.
thank you very much for watching. Trying this new format out. I want to see how it goes. We realise it's slightly longer videos, maybe like 20 minutes long here, showing these games. But we wanted to actually pick up some games and play them and actually talk about how we felt about them rather than just listing off a bunch of games, which you can just get on Steam anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Please comment below, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we'll be back soon. Maybe with a table, maybe without a table. Who knows? Table was very heavy to move. It
Maybe
was
with a
big,
nicer table.
solid oak table. And while we were moving it, Jamie was just messing around with the camera. So
That's what I do.
Which then got changed.